Hello everyone, today we're going to look at the 2013 SRT Viper GTS made by Maisto. Now if you've been a subscriber to my channel for any length of time, you may notice that this model was reviewed some time ago. I decided to make another video with the model just so that you guys could see it a little bit better. I know that the quality of my videos has improved over time, so I thought I'd just bring this model back for you guys to take a look at. This particular model does feature opening doors, an opening hood up front, and an opening trunk. In this case, it's a hatchback. Now, this model was produced in 2013 for the 2013 model year, this car. So it's still widely available from Maisto directly or on Amazon. Maisto currently offers this model in the black that you see here and also a red color. Now, I did make some slight alterations to this car. It's not completely stock as you would see out of the box. One thing would be the rear. I actually put on a custom license plate back there. And I had some extra carpeting material left over from a few projects. So I decided to add some carpet in the back and in the inside in front of the seats. Under this hood, the model offers a pretty good representation of the Viper's 8.4 liter V10. Detail is somewhat lacking though. As you can see, it's just a single mold plate in there with some paint detailing. Not a whole lot of detail on the engine overall. On the engine right there, you can see it says Viper. It's a little Viper detail. And then under the hood, what you see is the assembly for the front headlights, which doesn't look very good overall. So if you have the model on display, that's a little bit of a downside. In the interior of the vehicle, we get moderate detailing for the front vents. The air conditioning vents are outlined with a silver paint. You get a GTS badge on that front dashboard there, and also on the other side you do get the SRT Viper logo right on the steering wheel. Try to show you guys that. Yeah, right there. It's very small, but it's there. One thing I do like is the doors are assembled on what looks like Maisto's new spring-loaded system. So as opposed to having a hinge, the doors are spring-loaded. So when you push them slightly, they snap into place. Also, when they're open, they look pretty realistic. They don't protrude. You don't see a hinge or anything like that. So that's always a bonus. Now, this back hatch right here does stay open sometimes. Other times, it'll fall right down. This is where I put some more of that extra carpeting that I can actually remove, but underneath that, what you'd see is just smooth plastic. Not a whole lot of detail in the back. It's really just an extra cargo bay, but you do get a nice big glass window right here. Pretty good detail overall to be able to see into the compartment. Now, the back of the model does have that Viper logo once again. That's actually the exact same logo that you see on the steering wheel. It's just much smaller on the steering wheel. The taillights are a separate plastic piece. In fact, this whole piece right in here is plastic, this whole section here. The taillights are separate and they're painted with a white detailing for the backup lights. Underneath, this bumper right here is part of the body of the car, so this is metal. And this right here is part of the undercarriage of the car. This is all plastic. And a lot of the plastic does have kind of a detailing to mimic carbon fiber. So I know it's probably very hard to see, but in the light there you can see around the license plate there is a slight texture to the plastic. On the side there you do get the gas cap. The wheels do have shock absorbers, and looks like a little detail right there for a side light that's painted on, as well as exhaust right here that's chrome. One thing I'll point out is when you buy a Maisto model, avoid touching the chrome. This is not a problem with other models. I perhaps Spirago, but just avoid touching the chrome on, I'd say, any model car. Sometimes that will rub off, it will tarnish, and turn kind of a blackish color, so you don't want that. On the side of the car, you get another GTS logo right there, and once again, a slightly smaller wheel than the back with a smaller tire, but you do have the disc in there and the brake detailed in. The front of the model is a point where I kind of have some problems with. If you look around the headlights and around, especially the hood part right here, how it matches with the bumper, there are just really big gaps in the creases. For this hood, this hinge mechanism is under here, and it looks like they just have a massive gap to accommodate that. So I would have liked to see a tighter seam right there, but it is what it is. And it is actually somewhat hidden on the black model. If you guys were to look at the red model, and they might actually offer a white model right now. I think I seem to recall seeing that somewhere. You would see that gap as a more prominent problem. On the black one, not so much. It's kind of harder to see, so I think it's a good idea to choose the black one just because of that that problem there. The front grille right here is plastic, just like the other parts of the car, so you don't have a mesh that is translucent or anything, so you can't really see anything in terms of engine detail. You do get the Viper logo badge on the front of the car there, a vent right here that doesn't have a plastic piece, so that actually is a hole right there, and other vents here that are plastic. The headlights are not as good as I would have liked to see. You have a little chrome piece right there detailing the bulb, and then you have this, of course, this transparent plastic overlay. So detailing isn't too prolific there. Underneath the car, it's really, really quite disappointing for a Maisto. There's really not much to see there, actually, other than, the shocks and somewhat of a detail there for the drivetrain. Yeah, it's just not much detail underneath there at all. Hopefully, if you're displaying this model, you don't really care too much about the underside. But underneath it does say 2013 SRT Viper GTS, scale 118, the licensing information, Maisto, made in China, maisto.com. So other than that, I think that covers everything. It's a pretty nice model. I'd say I recommend it. It's unique. I don't see many other model companies right now making this and adding them to their catalogs yet. So it's a great buy. I found it at my local Costco store here in North America. It was $13. So for that price, it's really unbeatable. Paint quality is pretty good, and as far as the build goes, I think Maisto did a pretty nice job. The mirrors aren't loose, the mirrors are solid. They are plastic pieces, but they're solid fitting. And overall, I'd say I'd recommend it for the price. If you guys have any questions or comments, be sure to post them in the comments section below. I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as I can, and thank you for watching.